So I'm an autistic savant, and metaphysics and human behavior is my special interest. And in this series of videos, I am sharing with you all sorts of little tidbits along the path that I have gathered and implemented in order to take my life from a literal train wreck, okay, like we're talking incredible substance abuse issues and mental health struggles, that was really just undiagnosed autism and ADHD, FYI, but I digress. The point is that along this path of many years of intense study and implementation, I've managed to change my life. And so I'm sharing these little bits and pieces with you. Ultimately, everything boils down to two simple steps, okay? Number one, calm your body down. And number two, turn your attention inwards. And then how it goes from there is different for everybody. We've talked a little bit about how to calm your body down at this point in the first 3 videos of this series. Basically, when your body is poisoned and stressed out and you're using your brain to look outside of yourself, as is the case when your body is poisoned and stressed out, it's really hard to put your attention inwards, okay? Because your body is sending a signal to your brain that you are in danger and it needs to look for some sort of threat, okay? And because the brain finds whatever it's looking for 100% of the time, even if it has to make it up, this is where anxiety and rumination and like basically the chronic clusterfuck that is modern society happens to be. But when I first started on this path and I was like, oh, I need to meditate, I could not meditate. I was neurotic as frick, like so spun, folks, okay? I was actively drinking and abusing on the daily, okay? And I had severe anxiety and like BPD, manic depressive mood swing type of stuff. I mean, there's a confluence of factors causing that, but like sitting still and putting my attention inward was impossible. I was also like really skeptical about anything spiritual. I was very science oriented. And so what helped me, like the gateway for me, was actually the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, specifically Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Like that book really helped me to lay the scientific foundation for why meditation is a good idea and how it actually works. Like the studies that show real effects from meditating. Like Dispenza himself was hit by a van when he was in like a triathlon, and he healed his spine using a focused meditative process. So that convinced me to start trying, but I still really sucked at it for a long time. And eventually what I learned is that meditation isn't like just sitting. You don't have to just sit, like I do this now with you every day. You can see the cats. Well, one of them anyways. They're used to me doing this now because it's easier, because I've spent years calming my body down and training my attention inwards. But like there was no hope for me being able to sit still and clear my thoughts. So first thing to understand is that it's not necessarily clearing the thoughts. The brain is going to keep going. That's what it does. Okay. So it's learning to not pay attention to that, retraining your focus to something else. So like even just doing a simple scan of your chakras, taking your attention and like imagining a line through your body and going back up 2 to 5 seconds, 2 to 5 times an hour. That is a really micro type of way to train that sort of attention. But the other thing that it was super helpful for me was learning that really just presence is meditation. So like a meditation can be a walk, as long as you are thinking about what you're doing and not in your head in the past or the future when you're walking. So I would go on meat robot walks, I would call them, and I would imagine myself as like a little being in the chest cavity of my meat robot controlling it. So I would literally think left foot, right foot, left arm, right arm, like breathe in, breathe out, squeeze my bum, squeeze my abs. I like worked in fitness for 10 years. So I was like thinking about the structure of my body and how the mechanics work. But, or then, when you start to get used to that and it becomes repetitive and then your attention wanders, you can then look at things like look at that bird, look at that tree, look at that building, like whatever it is, just focus on where you are in that present moment. And that is meditation. Another thing I did for myself early on when I was white knuckling sobriety was I taught myself how to play the ukulele. So like anything where you are developing a skill that puts you into a flow state. And again, you have to be present. So like when you're playing an instrument, you are playing the instrument, you are in the music, you're thinking about what you're doing, and there's no space for anything else. Now that was relatively easy for me because I come from a musical background, but so it doesn't have to be a musical instrument, but like anything that puts you into a flow state, exercise, yoga, dancing, art, something like that, where you are present and you are preventing your mind from being in the future or the past. All of that falls under the category of meditation. So let me know in the comments, what's your favorite way to meditate? Or like, what is your biggest struggle when it comes to that? If you're not already following me and you like this sort of content, do that, engage with this video so the algorithm helps it, and stay tuned as this is probably going to be a 1,000,000-part series.